I saw that the Saints did exactly what I thought they would do. They would do because the Rams are just a better team, and they showed it because they could have folded easily there. And after that first half, the Saints score. They go up by 10 points. They were up 13 at one point, and after that, the Saints couldn't do anything, and the Rams dominated that game. Regardless of the bad, like it was a bad call, but the Saints also did things to hurt themselves and lose that game. Like, why would you first down under 2 minutes in like on the 20? I think was it 20, 17, 20 in that area or something like that, and to throw it on first down, even though you couldn't run the ball, that doesn't matter. Just kill clock. The interception in overtime, that's not Drew Brees' fault, but it wasn't a good pass. Granted, he was getting hit. He should have just took the sack, but I don't know. I think people are discrediting what the Rams did because of a bad pass interference call. And the Kansas City Chiefs can't play defense. That's what I got from this week, this past 2 weeks.
Well, I think with the Saints, I think the better play calling one.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, when it comes down to coaching, because, there is the pass interference call, and that really sucked. But Saints had the ball in overtime. They had a chance to win the game.
That's why I think the Rams were the better team too.
Yeah.
I think it was. You could tell by the end of the game that the Rams were better. Obviously, it was that call was a huge call, but there was other. You can't blame it all on one. You can't blame it all on one call.
There's always missed calls.
Yeah, that happens every game.
It's a human element that I'm sorry. The Saints are being real terrible losers. They act like they're the only team in the history of sports to lose a game like that.
But this has happened to them 2 years in a row. They had the Minneapolis Miracle
That's
last
not a penalty,
year.
though.
It's not a penalty, but it's a heartbreak in the playoffs.
Yeah. Also, keep in mind, I'm a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, so I don't like the Saints at all. So take what I say with a grain of salt.
I love the Saints, but what I love is I love me some C.J. Anderson. C.J. Anderson was great. And C.J. Anderson is like that underdog dude that comes up big in a Super Bowl that has the backstory this year. He was cut. Like David Tyree. Like, he wasn't drafted. He's going to come up big, and he could be the reason they beat the Patriots. It could happen, and it would be C.J. Anderson.
I think that's the most frustrating thing. There's 3 teams that I was really rooting for. There's 3 teams I was like, this is going to be a fun Super Bowl. And the one team that nobody wanted to see is there. And the worst part of it is they've got this huge chip on their shoulder for no reason. It's like,
I think there's a little reason to it.
Yeah,
there's some this year.
Sure, there was criticism this year, but they act like
I think they redirect.
They're the underdog
hate.
because they were picked. 3 points was the line in that game? They were a 3-point underdog, so they got a fucking chip on their shoulder.
I mean,
give me a break.
If any other team got to play the Bills, Dolphins, and Jets twice a year, they could win 10 games too.
I'm just saying this is the problem with fandom. This is so unfair that I have to watch the New England Patriots be that good.
Well, that's why you just bide your time for one of your teams, except if
been
you're a Buccaneers fan.
I've been carrying that torch since 2000. Oh, give me a break.
It just comes.
I'm sorry.
It comes in cycles.
You got one 8 years ago. Good on you. 9 years ago. Good on you.
Yeah. Rode the wave. Rode it for like 5 years off of one Super Bowl. And now we're back to hoping staying above mediocrity next year for the Packers,
Welcome to my hell.
Hopefully we make the playoffs again.
Every season. My team hasn't been in the playoffs since 2007.
We're still not at the level of hell of Jameis Winston as a starting quarterback. We've been incredibly blessed with quarterback, and that time's coming, man.
Can we stay on topic?
Oh, we're on NFL.
I fucking hate you guys.
Because
NFC.
Yeah, NFC. There we go. Well, when Rodgers was, or when Favre was Rodgers' age.
Hold on, let me get a stopwatch.
When Favre was Rodgers' age, they drafted Rodgers. So it's time. So AFC Championship game. Let me start with this. Which overtime did you prefer from an excitement standpoint of an objective football fan? Brandon.
Excitement, the Rams one, obviously, because we all kind of, I feel like a lot of people, especially in the game, knew that the first team to get the ball in the AFC was going to win because you didn't see any defense stop in the fourth. There was 40 points scored in the fourth quarter.
There's 3 lead changes.
Early in the game, there was more defense, but in the fourth quarter, it was all up and down the field. They never stopped them. So you kind of had that feeling that the team that got the ball was going to win the game because no defense had shown they could stop. I would say that the Rams game was more fun to watch as a fan.
To an extent, I would say like what you say about the AFC game happened in the NFC game. Like when the Saints gave up the ball, did it really feel like they were going to get it back?
No.
Well, that's why I was so upset about the pass interference call. They still kicked a field goal and had a lead, and they couldn't hold the lead
from the LA referees.
But they still played defense after that, and they still could have got a stop.
Knew about that before they even said in the media. All the Saints players knew that they were California people, and they still that never came up.
I don't believe in conspiracy
recently.
theories.
I believe in too many conspiracy theories.
Do you think this is a plan by Roger Goodell to get an LA team in the Super Bowl?
Absolutely. Why wouldn't you want an LA market in the Super Bowl?
But why would he go up against the Patriots?
There's no way you could know that was going to happen.
You can if you fix it, like the NBA. The
You
NBA
can't
rigs stuff all the time.
How can you fix that?
It's harder. It's harder to fix a football game.
You don't know how players are gonna react. You don't know what coaches are gonna call. There's no way he can make that.
I need an X-Files bumper.
You're so full of shit.
I think it.
I don't mean to curse on the show, but
it wouldn't be that hard to believe if Roger Goodell did try to make an LA market. You know, like the NBA has always tried to make the Knicks a better team, even though they just trip over themselves year after year, and they just refuse to be a functioning franchise. The NBA has always tried to push the Knicks to become like better than what they are, and I could see them doing that.
Because they're in New York.
Exactly. So it's about the market size. So I could see them doing that for LA, especially because they are going to have the Super Bowl as soon as that stadium is built.
They do that. That's how it's been the last 5 years, though. Brand new stadiums are being built, and they're playing the Super Bowls there.
Yeah,
it's not different.
Yeah, but this is the market, the biggest market of any of those.
Well, that's because it's this biggest market in the country. Like
For sure.
It doesn't.
Second biggest.
Well, yeah,
but that's not fair. It's LA.
Exactly, but that's my point entirely. Is that it is LA, and the LA will get that special treatment.
I would never.
When has a city this size just gotten a new sports franchise?
It was weird that LA didn't have a football team this entire time. I agree that was weird, but
Al Davis moved away.
But I would never believe that someone would have that ability to rig a game like that with so many different things that have to happen a certain way for you to say that. You know what I mean? Like he had to have known what Sean Payton was going to call, what the players were going to do, when the ball, like all that stuff.
Or it just has to be up to the refs to know this is that moment where we just don't see this. And that's it. Everybody plays their heart out, man. I'm not saying they don't. Everybody plays their heart out.
Conspiracy theories are fun, but they're never right, man. Come on.
Okay, switching overtimes. AFC, should the Chiefs have gotten the ball?
I had a different stance on this, and Paul actually changed my mind. I have never liked the NFL rules. I thought that they should have been closer to what college does. Maybe not. I don't even like the 25 in college. I would say the 50. You're just playing half-court basketball at that point, but it's exciting. But Paul made a good point where it's like we can't do that in this situation. Like there has to be a winner decided
quickly.
Yeah, it's a championship game. We got to get it done because
they don't want to injure the product that's going to happen the next week.
Right. Oh yeah, that could happen on any.
And that's why they take ties, just because they don't want to play an extra overtime. Yeah. And
it is called sudden death elimination in the NFL, or sudden death overtime, whichever one the official name is. There's a point where you gotta keep that sudden death. That's the excitement.
Exactly.
And you run back the kick.
Personally, I like the NFL rule in the playoffs.
I enjoy college
in the regular season. I don't like that it just ends.
Yeah,
I don't like ties. I don't like ties. So, but in the playoffs, they don't have ties, so they just keep going, and I like that more than I like the regular season. But I have no problem with the actual NFL overtime rule,
to where one team might not get the ball.
Yeah, I think where it is right now, with if you stop a field goal or hold them to a field goal, then you get the ball because you kind of did stop them because they could kick a field goal from the 35-yard line. So I like that part that they added that recently.
Yeah,
but
I agree. I like that little asterisk.
Yeah.
It does give the other team the chance if you get the field goal. Yeah.
But yeah, I conceded my point. I never do that, but Paul convinced me that that's the right way to go. And we had it back and forth.
This is man's sport. This is what it's
We had-
about. It
well,
comes down to one
next
play.
basket
You get
wins.
we
That's
beat,
how
man.
and pick up at its next basket
It
wins.
can't.
But we
you
had
can't
that-
play NBA overtime with just one next bucket wins.
Well-
First bucket of overtime.